Hey, and welcome back to my channel, and happy new year to you. We are kicking off the year with a video brought to you by Ywigs. They sent me over 3 bundles of their Burmese hair in the deep twist pattern. Y'all, this style, I never thought that I would do it, but we're doing it. So make sure that you keep watching. But let me tell you what they sent in this packet. The hair was so neatly packaged. You could see that wave looks amazing. Now, this bundle is so full. I've gotten other bundles and they just were not this full. I mean, this is a thick bundle. You could see here, there are no like filler hairs or anything like that. This being double drawn is just amazing. You could literally see there are no filler hairs. And when you open up this bundle, I'm telling you, there's going to be quite a lot of hair in this bundle. So I was really pleased to see that. Yeah, there's some flyaways, but that's okay because as you begin to pull those pieces apart, it's going to be flyaways all over the place, but that's okay. They also sent 2 duckbill clips, which was great because when you're adding these curly pieces into your braids, you kind of need something to help keep them out of the way as you continue to braid down. So this was great that they sent these clips. Then they also sent a comb with the rat tail at the end. They said they're gonna send you everything that you need to get the style done. They also sent a crochet hook. Not really sure what I would have used it for in this sense, but it was in there. And last but not least, they sent an edge brush. Sorry, not the best clip, but that was an edge brush to help do your edges in the front and everything like that if you left a little out in the back or whatever. And they also sent this little Christmas card from the Ywigs team, so I thought that was so cute. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the prep. Now, let me just say this. This is the type of hair that you absolutely want to have prepped before your client gets there. So if you can come in the day before, or if you can come in 2 hours early, this is something that you're gonna wanna have done because this is a process and it is going to add time to the style if you don't have this part done. Now, thankfully, my client knew that we were recording today and she knew that it was going to be a long day. So it really wasn't that big of a deal for her. But if I was not recording, I would have absolutely made sure that I had this part of the process done. Now, of course, there are multiple ways that you can prepare this hair, but for today, I decided to try to just use my hair rack. I loved how separated it kept the pieces. It kept it from tangling, and honestly, I mean, this hair didn't really tangle anyway, but this was just like another notch, if you will, to keeping this hair separate. For me, the hair rack worked great. Okay, so let's get into the prep of this style. We are doing the infamous Bohawk, okay? And let me tell you, this is not a style for the week. This style took about 8 hours. Let me just get that out the way. Now, I am gonna start my style off with parting down the middle. I always start my styles down the middle for the most part because it just creates symmetry for me immediately. So that's just how I do it. Now, down the middle of this Bohawk, okay, you're going to have 2 rows of knotless. So I'm going on the right to create that first section on the right of the middle part. And then I'm gonna go over and I'm going to do the same thing on the left of the middle part. And that's going to create my entire middle section, which is going to be filled with knotless braids. Right back here in the nape, it's just gonna be 1 braid. Now, I'm not doing anything different. I'm just cleaning up my space and all of that. I'm going to separate this section into 3 sections. If you haven't seen my other knotless braid videos, make sure that you check those out for very in-depth directions. My daughter had laid out the braiding here for me and left me this little note and said, please eat, because she knew that it was going to be such a long day. You're gonna go ahead, take those 3 strands, do your braid movements, throw in the first piece of braiding here, okay? And then just go ahead and braid down. Now, I didn't count the number of the pieces of the braiding hair that I added because my rule of thumb is I just try to match the density of my client's hair. And so that's not a number of pieces, it's more of a feeling of, okay, what's the thickness and the density of my client's hair, and how is the braid looking. So it's a very visual thing for me more than a counting thing, okay? Now, when it came to the boho pieces, I really didn't count those either. I would just say that I probably added about 3 to 4 pieces per braid. Now on this back one, I think I maybe only did 2 or 3, but as I went up, I added more. I'm already past the halfway mark of this section, and I'm just going to continue to part these knotless out 2 by 2. This part you really won't necessarily see in this style as much, but remember, we always want to be neat no matter what. So even if it's a part that's not seen, we still want our style to be neat just for its overall look and the quality that we're providing to our client. You can see here, I am adding my curly pieces in. This curl pattern was so beautiful. When I first opened the pack, I thought that because it was in that like deep twist that it was going to be more of a wave, but as you started separating the pieces, it was like the curls just began to pop. And so, oh my goodness, wait until you see the end of the style and how awesome these curls were. Now let's move on to the side. Now on the sides are where you're going to do your feed-in braids. Let me tell you, okay, this for me, it was a little tricky because I am not a freestyler. Okay, I am a very planned, meticulous braider. I'm a pre-parter. You know that. For me to step out of those reins and just kind of like trust myself to just flow is a little difficult for me, but that's exactly what we did on the sides. Now, you could make your braids basically any size that you want to, but if you really want to get that real, true Bohawk effect, you are going to have to do these braids a little bit on the smaller side. Now that's just my opinion, but when I saw this style, my immediate inspiration was Nas the stylist. And so if you want to get anything even close to hers, you're going to have to do these braids a little bit on the smaller end, and you're going to have to get quite creative, okay, as you can, in order to get that wow factor of the style. I am hoping that we did this style justice today. Nas saw the style already. She said, sis, you killed it. But listen, all I was doing was just trying my best to give my client the best style that I absolutely could, the best quality that I absolutely could, while being inspired by my sis, Nas the stylist. So shout out to you, Nas, because listen, you really helped me get through this style. Okay, so now here is where I'm trying to, incorporate some design in. Y'all, you kind of just have to really take your time and just feel the style. That is the best way that I could explain it. You have to kind of just take it braid by braid. Of course, have your inspirations or whatever, but at the end of the day, every client's head is different. You just have to really go with the nuances of your client's hair, their head shape, all of that. I'm just going to do this braid where I'm kind of just doing like a loop, if you will, and I'm just bringing it around. So it's kind of like this half circle loop, and then it's just going to come straight back to the middle like the rest of the braids. And let me just pause real quick because I'm looking at these stitches and they look so good. That's another thing that you want to do. Make sure that even on your feed-ins that you are doing the stitch technique, because that again is going to elevate the style even more. Oh, and also just a quick reminder, you don't have to do the same design on both sides. Like I did a different design on the left than I did from the right, but you'll have to keep watching so you could see what was done on the right side. So at this point, I just wanted to show you the bundle of hair again. I had to open up the second bundle so you could see I really got through all of the knotless in the middle and the side braids with just one bundle, and I still had some pieces over there hanging on the rack, but I knew I was going to need more. I would say that I got through this style with just about 2 bundles of hair. I never even had to open up the third one. So that's how full these bundles are. Now, as I mentioned before, we were doing something completely different on the right side than we did on the left. And so my daughter was like, Mom, you should put a heart on the other side. So I was like, okay, let me see if I can try. So that's what we're gonna do on this side. Instead of doing the loops, I decided to do a heart that's going to then result in a crisscross. Just keep watching, you'll see. Again, this style took me literally 8 hours. We started, my goodness, could be more than 8 hours. Anyway, we started around about 11 o'clock, and I know that it was like a little after 8 by the time she actually left the salon. When I say it was a full day, it was a full day. And because I did not have the hair ready when she came at around about 9:30. So it did take me around about an hour and a half to get that hair prepped. Again, just if you can, please prep your hair before your client gets there. Okay, come on, heart. How cute. How cute is this heart on the side? Again, like I said, it's gonna crisscross right over. So you could see that it's just so cute. Such a little touch there to add. These side braids are really going to be up to you. And again, like I said, you're going to have to just feel it. It's one of those style where you just have to trust you. You have to trust your abilities. You have to, you know, just kind of feel it out. And no 2 styles are going to be alike. And that's a good thing because we each have something valuable, that we each have something unique to offer. This was how this side came out. After I finish this braid, we'll move on to the baby hairs and we'll continue to keep this style rolling. So speaking of rolling, I almost forgot to mention that I did not add the pieces of curly hair to the bottom of the braids, okay? I decided to flexi rod the bottoms of the braids to mimic the curl pattern. I thought that was the easier way for me. Sometimes adding the curly pieces at the end of the braiding hair can easily add another 2 hours onto the style. I was like, look, okay, we are gonna flexi rod these, and it came out just as lovely. So I am happy with this. Going forward, I will continue to use this method. So I'm just gonna unrod these, and you could see the curl pattern is doing wonderful, so no issues there. Now let's get into the hardest part of the style for me, okay? I am not a edges baby hair person, okay? They're actually like my least favorite things to do. And so I did try to use the edge comb and edge brush that they sent, and there was nothing wrong with it at all. It's just that I am so used to my purple comb that I had to use my purple comb if I even had a chance of doing something with these baby hairs. I'm gonna go ahead and continue to do that. I'm just swooping in, trying my best to get these edges down. I think they came out adorable, but again, they are just not they're just not my thing, but I will do them, you know, when requested. But I did want to give this style a little added edge and everything like that. No pun intended, but I did want to give this style a little extra flair. We just decided to do some string baby hairs, and it came out so cute. She loved it. Okay, so here we go. Here's the final. Oh my goodness, look at this style. Listen, I actually was so proud of myself to have completed this. This style is so beautiful. She absolutely loved it. Look at the curls. Ywigs, like you literally did your thing with these curls. I would love to try 100 styles with these curls. So good. So good. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss another upload like this. And as always, God bless.